Mysticism in the forest. My friends and I love to go out into nature, walk along forest roads, look for adventures, tell different mystical stories. We looked at old maps, found a dense forest, and there in the depths of the forest, there was a manor house once. It was a long way to go. We packed a bag with food and water, charged the device, sharpened shovels, knives, and carefully loaded everything onto motorcycles. A short motorcycle ride was only a joy, and most importantly, useful. And you could go where you can't get by car. We left early in the morning. The place was 30 kilometers from the city. The road was not easy, but this did not bother us at all. We got there in about an hour. Before the forest, we passed an old abandoned cemetery. Somehow it became gloomy in our souls. Why don't skeletons fight each other? They don't have the guts. But when it disappeared from sight, it became easier again. We drove through the forest for another 15 minutes until we got to the nearest place, from which it was already possible to make our way to the estate. Unfortunately, we did not find a direct road to that place, so we had no other option but to make our way through the thicket. The forest was so dense that, due to the small amount of light passing through, it seemed as if it was already twilight. We are not barbarians, but sometimes we had to use a small hatchet in order to clear a path between the densely growing young trees. It was obvious that no human foot had set foot here for a very long time. Having finally reached the place we needed, we set up our mini-camp, right where, according to our information, was the very estate we were looking for. Not even the foundation remained of the estate itself. It was very old. After a quick snack on the road, we assembled our device and took turns walking around, digging almost every signal. We mostly came across all sorts of junk: horseshoes, door hangers, buttons. All this indicated that, after all, we had come to the right place, and there had been life here in the past. For more than half a day, we had not found anything valuable, and only when we were already beginning to think that the place was already knocked out, and it was time to get ready to go home, the metal detector gave an encouraging, strong signal. And indeed, having dug up that place, we found an old jug filled with old silver coins. There was little left of the jug itself, but we were very pleased with the condition of the coins. Finally, we had found a treasure. We were very happy with our find. We wanted to continue searching, but since there was only time left for the road home, we decided to come back here another time. We packed up our camp and started walking in the direction we came from. After about 20 minutes of walking through these thickets, we returned to that very place. There was less and less time left. We tried to get out again, and again returned back. It was as if this place did not want to let us go. Time after time, we returned to this estate again. The sun had not yet set below the horizon, but it was already quite dark in the forest. We did not have a compass, and the navigator on the phone refused to work at all due to the lack of network. In such a situation, it is difficult to control yourself, but we did not give up. Having decided to spend the night in the place where we had previously deployed our mini-camp, fortunately we took enough food. We began to collect firewood for the fire. Breaking small branches, I heard some cracking from the forest, but did not attach any importance to it. You never know what kind of creatures live here. I did not believe in the paranormal, and bears and wolves are not found in our area. The rest of the animals are not dangerous at all. We lit a fire, and what a fire it was! Although it didn't improve visibility, it warmed us up very well. We took the remaining food out of our backpacks and started to eat dinner, simultaneously examining the coins from the treasure we had found. There was another crackling sound. It seemed to me that the sound was coming from the fire, but when it would happen again, it was very close behind us. We rushed into the old house. We were seriously scared. The sounds became more frequent. There was a strange feeling, as if someone was watching us. The hardest thing was to realize that there was nowhere to run, and if it really was some kind of predator, then we were left to it as if on a platter. The only weapons we had were a dull sapper and a small hatchet. If anything happened, there wasn't much of a chance. Someone threw more wood on the fire. It flared up stronger, illuminating more of the area around with its light. We saw a strange silhouette behind it. He looked at us intently. Horror, who or what is this?
Quiet. Quiet. It's quiet. Let's just listen to how epic this is.
I was frozen with horror. My heart was pounding in my chest. My hair stood on end. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. I had never seen anything like it before. It raised its hands and slowly headed in our direction. At some point, I realized that I needed to run. Grabbing my friend by the shoulder, turning him in the other direction, I pointed to the stairs. Faster up. I was still in shock when I realized that I was almost at the very top. Looking around, I saw that my friend was already at the top too, only a little further from me. We sat like that until the morning. From time to time, footsteps and inhuman screams were heard below. To say that it was scary is to say nothing. With the dawn, we no longer heard it. Having descended to the ground, we quickly packed up camp. But we did not find the coins. This creature took them, better than them. Oddly enough, we got out of the forest on the first try. We were silent the whole way home. We were terribly sleepy. The road was long, and it seemed like we would never get there. But after 3 hours, we finally got home. I don't know what was that in the forest. To be continued.